What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and I am here with Bastian, your new EU regional champion, who just won with Freehan. Yes, the first Freehan win. Absolute congratulations, Bastian. We are just fresh off the game. How are you feeling?
It's still unbelievable to me. So maybe you remember me. Last year I got top 16, one time at an offline event, one time at an online event. And today when I made it to top 8, I was like this. And then I won, apparently. I don't know what happened there, yeah.
Yeah. Of course I remember you, and I'm sure that the audience does too. Like you're the prominent European freehand player. So
Yeah.
it's awesome just seeing you climb the ranks and now taking the win at the first European online event. Huge congrats. So I probably know the answer already, but why did you pick freehand for the event?
Well, this was my first main day. I started playing 1.5 years ago, and I picked this one up and I never let it go. I just love the way it plays. It can be very aggressive, but later on, and the more I learned about this deck, the more I also thought like, well, this is also defensive, and I can adapt basically to every meta. I can do some shenanigans I might introduce today. Yeah, it's just an awesome deck, and I love Gohan as well, and I love Beast the form, so everything about this deck I love.
Awesome. So yeah, take us through the deck. Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is spoiler alert. This is the best build Gohan that I have ever seen. Like this.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I'm saying as someone who sees so many deck lists, this is absurdly strong.
So we start by something very ordinary, like the Piccolos and the Pans. There's absolutely no reason to not include them. Having the potential to have a dual attacker 20k with deflect, potentially barrier, or like the other way around, like looking for a 1-drop Pan, see what kind of goes on in your deck, and then play her, draw one, and then having the combo power. It's just too good. And I guess this is like always like with this card together with these fours, the only engine thing I run, to be honest. 4 times the Goku and Vegeta. Who does not know this card? For 1 energy, I can pitch a card from my hand, use 2 mono blue cards from drop in a combo with skills negated for the turn, and then if I have 3 or more cards in my combo area, I can play him. He's a 15k deflect body and draw 1. So he's basically perfect for comboing on and for going heavy. I draw 1. I get a 10k push basically just for 1 hand card and a 15k body.
Yeah, that's what the leader wants to do, guys. Because I'm just gonna jump in because we have a lot of new people on the channel, a lot of them coming in from Fusion World. That's what Freehand does. So can you? I forgot to do this at the very. Can you, yeah, please.
Too excited. I'm sorry. So what does my leader do? He has a pretty interesting permanent. I can not place more than 3 energy. So basically, the whole game I stay at max 3 energy, maybe plus an energy marker. And pretty simple front side. When it attacks, I draw 1 and I awaken when I have 5 life or left, or when I have a specific Z battle card in play, like one of these 2 guys. I'll come back later to them, what they do. On the backside, I'm still allowed to only just have 3 energies. When my energy is all mono blue and I charge 1 blue card to my Z energy, I'm allowed to untap 1 energy. And here's an activate main and battle once per turn. I can draw cards until I have 3 cards in my hand. And this makes it a very unique deck. First, you have the energy requirement, and second, like the last leader ability tells you, please throw away your hand. You get new stuff to play with. And I like that playstyle a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's one of the most aggressive decks in the game. Like this thing is insane.
So this is like a pretty standard package. All that is left from the core, I put out the 4-drop Gohan that plays when the opponent has a Pan. I put out the 8-drop Gohan and Piccolo because I got some new toys with the new set. But before I come into that, we have a Rosé. Pretty aggressive card. I charge like hell, and if you see my games on stream, I never have like less than 5 Z energy. So he is live turn 2, basically. He draws one unplay, he bottom decks one, and he's 20k double strike. So
Yeah,
pretty good.
we saw that. Yeah, this is just one energy 20k. You also get to bottom deck something, right? He has removal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a 4-drop or less. So when the opponent goes all in with a card and I have one energy open, I can remove it if the card is 4 cost or less. Also, I think this card carried me the win. I think. Yeah, it did. Against Peter Dance. Shout out to him. Then we have the 6-drop Oop. He's a pretty good target removal. So he comes when I have 2 or more energy, when the opponent has 2 or more energy, and I'm a Earthling or Margin leader, and this is the case here. On play, I can take 1 life to my hand, so he's also safe Awakener when I'm at 6 life, and I don't want to play my Z-Battle card to awaken. And then I can choose one of my opponent's cards, and I can Z-charge it. So basically, whenever my opponent is trying to hide behind blockers or token negates, this is my response to it. Or there was also like one game against Fu and Fu's Secret where this came in clutch. And at the end of the turn, it goes under the opponent's leader, and it comes back next turn. So at the start of my next turn, I have a 20k body to swing with. That's pretty awesome.
And he also gives -5 to the leader, right? When he
Exactly.
goes
So I'm pretty safe of leader swings as well. He's awesome. Then we have a new inclusion, which is the Baby Bitter Revenge. This card helps a lot, and there's a funny synergy, and maybe I show that synergy as well quickly. So I can play him basically for 1 if my leader is blue, and I either have a Z leader or a blue Z battle card. So I can play him turn 2 when I awaken with one of my Z battle cards. However, the most important thing is his second effect, so auto for 1 energy. When I bottom deck, or when a card is bottom decked, when a battle card is bottom decked, no matter if my opponent does it, if I do it, like if it's on my field, on their field, doesn't matter. I pitch 1 card from hand in the drop, and I remove him from the drop. I can bottom deck a Unison costing 2 or less. And obviously we're now in a Z-Unison meta, or we're trying to stumble into it, and this card helped a lot against my first matchup against Vegito, together with Hirudegan, also like a new inclusion.
Oh, okay, this is really spicy.
Yes, and now we get to the fun spice, and my opponent discovered it before me, so I discovered it while playing. This was just an inclusion because I wanted to say at 52 cards and not like 50, and it was like, maybe I include something funny where I can bottom deck something with it. I was like, let's try that out. The funny thing about this card, first off, it's 20k dual attacker, so everything my deck wants to do, and it bottom decks something on play costing 6 or less. But also it has an activate battle limit 1. I can bottom deck him if it's my opponent's turn, so if my opponent is swinging into me. Then I can draw 1, and then I can untap 1. And the moment this goes under my deck, this card goes into pending. Then I untap 1, draw 1, and then I can immediately pay the 1 and drop the card I just drew to remove the Z Unison.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a very spicy combo.
Obviously, there is some setup, but yeah, it worked.
We're in a Z Unison era, so yeah, I know a lot of decks are looking at like how to deal, especially the blue ones. Like, okay, if you're not playing baby, how do you consistently get this baby off? And here's a way how to do it. That's awesome.
I think, this is the best way. Either your opponent removes it. Well, that sucks, but then he did something to remove it, so chances are good he lost an energy or, did something before swinging. But this is also good in general. Like, if you bottom deck something with the Rosé, for example, you can activate this. So I think in my final match against Peter, I think game 1 or 2, I also used this effect when I played a card and bottom decked one of his cards to remove his Unison without swinging into it. So this is a pretty good addition, I would say. Then we have the newest play toy, and maybe the most broken card in this deck, the new Gotenks.
Oh yeah, the new SR.
When I read this, I completely freaked out. This was everything I wanted for that deck. It's stupid. Basically, dual attack, deflect, 25k. On play, he bottom decks something 6 cost or less. He himself is 6 cost. so he's pretty safe regarding the new black counterplay or a rosé of my enemies or anything else, basically. And I can play him for 2 energy if I have 2 or more cards in my combo area and activate battle. And, well, this is nearly always the case.
Yeah. So, how much does it cost to play, though?
2 energy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know what Bandai thought when printing this card, but yeah, I tested it. I fell in love. Yeah. Then secret of choice is Beast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nothing else can be.
Yeah, I tried the SS3, but it felt wrong. The potential to just bottom deck alive and to restand 2 of your things, it's way too huge. And remove the whole board, it's just better. Then we have a new addition compared to the last video, which is this lovely Unison.
Okay, yeah, we have seen this put a lot of work on stream.
Yeah.
So, what's the idea with the Unison? It's just to like get some extra Z energy and the dual attacker later, or
It's everything. In Bielefeld, I played there. I also got top 16, and I could not get through Janemba Mill. This time I could get through it, and this card basically does everything for me. I can charge it and then go to 3 energy, and I can later on play it out of my energy. And this is huge, especially in green matchups, yellow matchups, and black matchups, because all of these 3 colors highly have cards that are highly dependent on your opponent's energy. So, for example, when I played against Michael and his Vegex deck, he could not play his secret because I just stayed on 2 life. He could not play Evil Mask Saiyan. He could not play his Vegeta Overrealm for the cost of 1. And against other decks, like green is kind of dead against this strategy. Even though it removes the Unison, I can still be sometimes on 3 energy to play that, and then play this out of my energy, so I can still have the secret, but not staying on 2. Against yellow, your number 1 is dead. The UI 6-drop is dead. Just so many cards. And then the obvious things, it comes through Nimbus. It has dual attack against Nimbus. I can combo for free out of my drop to then trigger my leader ability to untap 1, no matter what my opponent is attacking. And then I also have some spice in my side deck I show later on.
Yes.
Yeah, but this Unison is crazy for that deck.
Yeah, that's really a lot of value here.
Then the defensive piece is the Floodgate for the deck.
Yeah, the best floodgate in the game.
It's annoying. There are some matchups where this is not the best card, especially like Jiren is hell, because he can just for free ditch his yellow, use 11 card, and then you have 2 1-drops. Awesome. But besides that, every time I play that, my opponent is kind of like stuttering. Should I react to that? Should I not react to that? And also, if I have that out, and that out, chances are my opponent is still targeting that, because it basically takes the opponent's turn. Then, also toy I love to play with is Pilaf Shu and Mai.
Yeah, this is a forever staple now. This card is so good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this card is better than... This card should be more expensive. Let's see if I can manipulate the market. It's crazy. Most of the times I don't play anything turn 1, and then I just play that, because every deck nowadays needs the energy, and I can take away keywords, I can take away combo power. It's so huge. I love it. Then, also new choice. A good friend of mine had the idea, the Zamasu Super Combo, 4 times.
That one. Yeah, so we saw you play them on stream, and I saw you play like 2 of them, because I thought like, okay, maybe there's one is a spicy thing. But when I saw 2 of them, I was like, okay, I have to ask him during the deck profile. I have to. What's up with 4 Zamasus?
Yeah, so the last time I was like with 4 the Intech Gokus and stuff. I had problems. I was at some point struggling against Cellmax, because I hate it. He's a 25k body on swing, he restands, on block, he restands, And when he dies, he necks something. So every time I wanted to play my secret against Cell Max, the secret just had 10k, and this sucked. And there are other cards like in A21 matchup, like the 4-drop Z battle card who gets indestructible if you Z-stack Zamasu. I can't deal with that shit. There's no way I can remove indestructible. I could side something, but it just didn't felt right. And a friend of mine was suggesting, well, since Cell Max is freestanding when he swings, maybe the Zamasu super combo is a good idea. So I tried it out and it worked because I can switch the card to rest mode then. And also when I'm on a defensive turn or offensive turn, right, when I swing into my opponent, he does not block with a blocker. I can then on my swing rest the blocker, or defensively, when my opponent has like one battle card, one leader, and he swings with a battle card first, I can rest the leader, and most of the times he loses the like draw one from the leader effect. And I basically disabled one attack, which is pretty huge for that deck. And yeah, this is like one of the MVPs when I play it, because nobody's expecting that shit.
Yeah, that's really amazing logic, man. Like it's yeah.
I know some people are like, well, then you don't have a draw super combo, but
you draw
I draw enough.
Like
yeah, this is the thing. It's better to like potentially negate an attack or negate a blocker than to draw just 5 or 10k combo power for me. Because this is all what my deck is. There will be no extra card included in this main deck. There's no time for that. Then we go to combo power. She is just 10k combo power. Costs 1, but if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, she costs 0. And the good thing is she costs 0 in your hand or battle area. So the moment you put her into the combo area, she's a 1 cost again, so Pilaf, Shu, and Mai cannot get rid of her.
Ooh, okay.
Which is a funny side effect I discovered. It did not came up today, but it's just interesting. Then 2 Shu gives 10k combo power to a blue battle card.
Just extra power.
Then we have Supreme Kai, also extra combo power when I have 5 or less cards in my hand. She's also cool because when I have 6 cards in my hand, I can combo her in, and then I have 5 cards in my hand, and then she triggers as well. So that's cool. And then we have 2 Koitsukai. Never used them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never used them. I potentially think about ditching them totally. But sometimes it's just good to recycle a little bit your hand if you need pieces and your hand looks shit or something. Yeah, all in all, pretty happy with my main deck. Like, these 2 cards are definitely the MVPs, and I say that every time. And this one helped against Peter a lot in the final when he played the Flying Nimbus, and then I could do 3 unison swings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this is so, guys. Yeah, this is the main deck. It's so perfectly built. Like everything, just like you've explained, every card you just naturally flows into the other one. You're not worrying about breaking because you're just not running extra cards at all.
Yeah.
And, like there's always extra combo power, bottom decking, more and more swings. It's insane. And we have some very cool spice in the side deck as well.
Yes, but first we go quickly into the Z deck.
Yeah.
So we have now a 10-card Z deck. These are my tokens. This is not that important.
Question before we dive into the Z deck. Has
Sure.
the 10-card change affected this deck?
Yes, I would say so. It has definitely affected the deck. So let me show you how my deck looked before, how my Z deck looked before. It was, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And you have to imagine a 7 card. So my Z deck before was the 2 superhero cards. The Vegeta I played every time. The Goku just has barrier. So if there's anything like charismatic or the new counterplay card, I will play this to awaken because he is safe. Then we have like 1 Beerus, 1 Cell. I was playing before 1 Yanemba, like the one that gets reduced when you have the extra in play, and like this 1 Goku. I will come back to the Goku later. He's here because I have another card that needs him. And now with the Z deck changes, I have access to 2 more Z extras, 1 more Cell, and 1 more Beerus. And
Yeah, those are huge, actually. Yeah.
there were so many games in the past where I wished I if I had another Beerus or if I had another Cell, but I could not cut any of the cards, so I was stuck. And now I can with 3 the extras, and I think I did that in some games, every turn use the Z extra to make my swings bigger and then reestablish a new Z extra. And this feels just stupid and huge at the same time.
Sorry, before we dive into the side deck, one question that I've said I'm gonna ask and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
The energy marker, because a lot of people were like, guys, this is gonna break Gohan. So how broken is it?
Yeah, kind of. So I made an energy marker myself. First of all, I want to showcase that because I'm proud of that.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
The energy marker is huge for that deck. So at first I was playing around with it. I thought maybe I can use it turn 1 when I go second, then immediately establish a Piccolo, a Pan, draw 1, have these big swings. But I discovered, well, that might not be the best moment because then I hit my opponent to 4 or 5 life and he can immediately awaken turn 2 without needing to do anything, so this was bad. Afterwards, I was using it on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, whenever I needed. And this, holy shit, this energy marker is so huge. I had games against Set 2 Vegito where he was playing his secret, and you cannot rest this because it's not a card. I had games against other players where I just had this sitting around, and then when I needed to use it as a last resort, I did use it. I had games against Peter, for example. I guess it was against Peter in the second game, where I was playing a battle card, then a Gotenks, and then I played a Piccolo of the marker, and then you suddenly have 7, 8 swings with 20k power.
Yeah.
So I think I like this energy marker for the game because the game just got more complex. It's not easy to tell when you have to use it, but at the same time, it kind of feels like some decks need to be rebalanced again. And it's difficult to say what decks. Yesterday, Beerus ramp won.
Oh yeah, that was 3 wishes in a turn. Yeah, no problem. Let's go.
It was ramp. Also 7-coup profits a lot, so every defensive deck, but also offensive decks. The thing that is more huge is actually the mulligan, because this deck does not care about the mulligan as much. As long as I have a 1-drop, or not even that, but the Piccolo or Gotenks in my hand, I will take the hand. I do not need anything more. This is my turn 2, and the rest naturally comes and flows. And I think this is a huge factor that this deck does not suffer because of the new mulligan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for the feedback on those. So yeah, guys, mulligan changes not affecting the deck energy marker, just making it insane. So let's check out the side deck.
Yes, so first of all, just some ratio fixing. Against every yellow deck, every green deck, every black deck, I tend to add in 1 more and then take out maybe a Koitsukai, just so I can more consistently see it. And then charge this as my 3rd energy, but still go down to 2 energy and play it out of my energy in case I draw into the secret. Then I have 2 Krillin the Cunnings. I took that in because of the A21 matchup. I think it's still a problem for this deck, even though the 2-cost battle card is gone, because like I said, I cannot basically do anything against the 4-drop that gets indestructible. And you could say when I go to the point where they play the 8-drop, I'm fucked. Still, I'm not as fucked when I play this Krillin. And it does not hurt me as much, because the only time I restand energy with a battle card or extra card is with my secret. And usually by that point, I have 5 or 10 cards in my drop. I can then basically, is it warp or remove from game? I think it's warp, yeah. Never came up today, though. Another card that did not came up today is Decisive Strike.
Okay.
basically a free counterplay. If you have, if you ditch a card from your hand, you need to have a Z battle card in play, and then the card, if it has a cost of 3 or less, is placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. This is kind of good against riposte and everything that goes in that direction. Also, like the new Bardock Floodgate, never came up today. And I'm not sure if I need it in my side deck, to be honest. Because usually if I get Floodgated, it's still kind of fine for me. And it's an extra card, so it's stuck in my hand. And this happens a lot.
Yeah, that's the don't play extra cards and don't break. That's it.
Yeah. Then we have Gohan and Piccolo. He got out of the main deck into the side deck. And probably I will put it even out of the side deck. This deck does not have any natural built-in barrier removal besides the Beerus. And remember, I just have 3 energy. So playing it for 2 and then tapping it for 2 to remove something with barrier is not that easy. I have to use basically everything to do that. So I was thinking like, well, this is also barrier removal, but it's also stuck in my hand because it has a 1 combo cost. And it costs so much just for 19k, which is 15 in offense. 9k swing. Yeah, it's not worth it anymore.
It's not worth it, yeah.
Especially since Gotenks does so much more.
Basically.
Then 2 Shins.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm scared of Vegito. Yeah, I'm scared of Vegito. I'm scared of the Exodia bullshit. So better have it than not have it. And then we have 2 token negates. Also against decks that are pretty aggressive or have so many swings. I don't know if I cited that today, so I did not cite that today. I did cite Shin against a game against Fu in the top 8. Did not work as good as I wanted it to. So I cited it out for the 3rd game again. And now we have some spice.
Okay, let's see.
First spice. It's not really spice, but how I use it was spice. Hand of the Demon God. Since I'm playing a Unison, I discovered that this works better for me as Tapion does. Because usually I play my Unison anyway, and I love that Unison, and I want to stick to that Unison, and not to Tapion. And I can negate the skills with it, so I remove it from the drop basically, paying 1 for Spirit Boost 1 with my Unison, and then I target one of my opponent's cards and negates its skills for the end of their turn. Only downside, the target I'm choosing has to have a greater energy cost than my opponent has energy, but this is totally fine. And why this was so good was because against the Fu matchup in the 3rd round, it was a battle of secret rares. Every game was a battle of secret rares. He had his Cumber secret. I had my Bisan secret, and obviously when you play the Cumber secret, your leader does not take damage anymore. And then I was using Hand of the Demon God, and suddenly I could do damage again. Since like everything was negated, and then I immediately played a 6-drop Oob, removed it, and then I basically carried that game with that.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Yeah.
It's also good, and this is the reason why I basically use this one. It has an effect, activate main if your leader is mono blue and you discard 1 extra card from your hand, draw 1 card, and this card gains critical. So if I do not see the Gohan and the Goku and Vegeta to drop 1 card, I can also use this from my Z deck to then ditch it, so I have it in a drop. And the biggest spice, I guess, is the Bardock Spirit Resonance.
Yeah, we saw this one on stream. It was awesome.
Yeah, I discovered this because I was playing some U7 Gohan before, and it was fun. And obviously, you have the U7 Vegeta there, who says, "Well, for 1 energy, if your opponent has 3 or more energy, you can resend your leader, next all its skills, and then you have another swing with it." I was thinking, is there something for blue? Because sometimes, when you get floodgated with green, with red, you just have the leader swing that is free, or at least against red. And it's also 25k body to charge. And then I discovered this card, and I read the limitation of Limit 2, Spirit Boost 2, which is kind of huge. But when I play with Unison, it's usually at 2 markers, and then I swing with something, it goes up to 3 markers, and then I can use the Spirit Boost too, and then I can reset my leader, have 2 more swings or 1 more swing with that. And I guess it worked in some game, right? I think it was on stream.
It was on stream. It was on stream.
And the crazy thing is, I almost cited it in every game I could, because everything has nowadays floodgates that does affect everything but your leader. So Flying Nimbus, like I said, Explosive Dance. I think uneasing floodgates everything. I'm not sure about that.
I think, it's just that, we're in a meta where basically leaders which can swing multiple times are insane. That's what we saw in the previous meta game. That's what we saw with Jiren, for example, where Jiren just keeps restanding, and by the time his last attack goes through, he's like 35k.
Yeah.
So
it was. Yeah, it was crazy. It came in clutch. It was pretty good. And this is my side deck. If you would ask me, I would put these 4 maybe out. But then again, what would I put in? I'm not sure yet. I want to see how the meta evolves, what kind of new decks establish into the meta, because I see a huge potential in the Green Goku and also in the Vegito, if played correctly.
Definitely there is something with those two going on.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of black today. So black also seems to have a good space at the moment with the new Vegito, with the new counterplay, with the new Z Unison. I saw Michael today on VJax. Shout out to him. It were awesome matches. So basically, I went 4-2. Maybe I can talk about my matchups a little bit. First game, SS4 Vegito did bottom deck his Z Unison with the baby. That was pretty clutch. And now I have to look into chat again to remember what I played against, because it's not that easy. Let's see.
It's been a long day, so
it's we started at 8 a.m. It's now 6:40 p.m.
almost 11 hours.
It's crazy. So round 2 was against Apeku Reboot. He kicked me down to 5 lives, so I did not need to play the battle to awaken, and then I returned the favor with the aggro, played my floodgate. Everything on his side has barrier, so he cannot bottom deck it to swing again. And then I think it was pretty easy with going into secret and then killing him. Then round 3 was against Xenogoku, which also got a pretty good buff with the new Vegito. However, I was staying on 2 energy, so he could not play his secret. And then I just overran him at some point. Then I had a matchup against Fu, and I lost that because his secret was kind of surprising me. And at some point I misplayed. I had 2 options, either going for the floodgate or for the unison, and it did not floodgate, so I died the next turn. I was pretty annoyed by that, but is what it is. Then 5th round was against 7Ku. A good friend of mine, Tommy, plays this deck all the time. So it was pretty easy to me, because every time I play against him, he does exactly know what my deck does, and he plays perfectly against it. And this player does not had this exercise, basically. So yeah, that was also like pretty easy, I would say. And then in game 6, I lost against Vegex. Against Michael. At some point I thought he was on 1 life, and then I was going kinda all in, and then I saw like, well, you had 2 lives, fuck. So I was losing that round. It was too late at that point. Then I went 4-2, but I bubbled up because Michael and the Fu player just lost against Peter, who got undefeated in Swiss. So I got 7th place out of Swiss, and then the first round I played against the Fu, got my revenge there, started 0-1 and then won it 2-1. Then I played against Michael with Vegex, got my revenge there as well. Went 1-0, then 1-1, then 2-1. And then I played against Peter Dance in the finals. And since my deck is so fucking aggressive, I think it has a very good matchup against Janemba. I think there's not much Peter could have done differently.
Yeah, that Peter played amazingly, but it wasn't just close.
Yeah.
I remember we saw game one. He started, he energy tapped, and you were already having like 5 bodies on the board and just swinging. So, Bastian, thank you so much for the deck profile. Do you have, before we conclude, do you have any shoutouts?
I do have shoutouts. So first of all, shout out to my team OVL. Even though I need to do more with them, I'm still part of the team, so shout out to them. I guess my biggest shout out goes to the Just Locals community. I'm part of that. We created online locals basically in German language. So if you wanna join that, look us up, or maybe we can put a link in the description.
Definitely,
is it possible?
Yeah. Just send me the link. I'll put it in the description.
Then we do that. Apparently, we just do German-speaking locals. Maybe we consider doing like English-speaking as well. And shout out to like 3 of the best guys I have in that community. First off, Mirko. He's a really great dude. We're always traveling together to events like the finals in Italy and like in Karlsruhe, the regional, which is happening late April. Then also shout out to another Bastian. He's the one I'm always talking about deck lists and potential spice, like the Bardock. He was not a fan of it, but I still set my mind through it. And then another shout out to Tommy. Every time you want to play a game, no matter the time of the day, he's there to play a game with you. It's awesome to have that exercise, and I have to say, in game 5 against 7Q, this came in clutch. So yeah, shout out to those 3 guys in specific, and obviously to the whole community there.
Well, awesome, guys. So thank you, Bastian, for doing this deck profile with us. Huge congratulations. Guys, this is Bastian. He is your EU regional champ, taking the first win on the first EU online regionals with Freehan. Amazing. And yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Like, this has been Damien from the Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.